Hello and welcome to Kickoff Podcast with me, Imolia Yofakayode. I'm joined as always by Right Score senior writer. His name Hila Fisayo. By the way, if you don't know, guys, his real name is Oluwatosin Fisayo. But as all of us, you know me personally, I'm called Fakimsa. He's called Hila. He would explain to us one of these days where he got his name Hila from, and maybe his magic is working on his Chelsea side. We'll talk about Chelsea during the course of the show. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us. Just before we go on the pod, I'll encourage you to follow Right Score on Twitter and on Instagram at Right Score Updates. Like our page on Facebook at Right Score. The website will be fully launched very soon. We're planning to do that by January. Hopefully, we'll get it up and running. Hila, how are you? How I don't know. I'm sure you are on top of the world right now. Your beloved Giroud is on fire, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Fakimsa. Giroud is on fire. Not only on fire, but if we can see any other team that we can use apart from fire, my guy is up and high in the Champions League. You know, I couldn't believe he's now on 5 goals in UEFA Champions League. I can't believe this. Thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone listening to Kickoff Podcast again. It's been a great week for me personally and for the lovers of football.
All right. I'm sure for everyone listening, I'm sure you already know the results of the UEFA Champions League that went down on Tuesday and on Wednesday. So as a result of that, we'll be focusing majorly on the talking point. Let me start with Chelsea before we focus on the group of death. That's Group B and Group H. Atletico Madrid as well are in a bit of trouble, but we'll talk on that. Let's take Chelsea out of the way quickly, Hila. Olivier Giroud, going into that match against Sevilla on Wednesday night, was given 3.65 odds to score a single goal. Guess what? He scored 4, and only him and Josip Ilicic of Atalanta, I think, have scored 4 goals in the UEFA Champions League this season, and he did that in style, in grand style. See, the thing is, when I saw the lineup of Chelsea versus Sevilla, I was like, what is Lampard up to? Like, Sevilla resting player. The truth is, if Sevilla, we all knew if Sevilla rested their some because Sevilla we played against Real Madrid in this weekend, so probably that's why they've rested them. That's not even probably. That's one of the reasons that made them rest some key players. And Chelsea, on the other hand, their second side should do just enough to beat the reserve team of Sevilla, and they did just that. And the player on the lips of everybody right now is Olivier Giroud. What has Olivier Giroud done to Lampard, or what does he need to do to convince Lampard that he deserves a starting shirt ahead of the overrated and under average Tammy Abraham?
Well, you know, Giroud is the kind of player that is just so underrated. You know, there are some strikers that it depends the kind of team you play for that will, you know, that will judge your career. You know, Giroud is the kind of striker that people are not talking about, but he's good, fantastic. You know, for that French coach to keep using him in the World Cup, you know what he saw in him. So talking about how Giroud will get his starting shirt in Chelsea team, I think that fake Drogba is just deceiving Lampard. Like, seriously. And I really don't. I really don't understand why Lampard keep using Tammy Abraham ahead of Giroud in a game. In a competitive game, you'll be using Abraham ahead of Giroud. That's the slap, and that's one of the reasons Giroud is going. Even if you are starting Abraham and Abraham is doing well, scoring goals, you know, it will even be a different case. But now this guy is not even up to expectation. I hope Lampard should learn from this and make some changes in his starting lineup.
All right, Giroud is on course to overcome. Don't mind me. He has about 5-6 goal behind Thierry Henry to become the highest goal scorer ever for France, and that kind of player is not getting a starting shirt for Chelsea. I don't know what to say. Moving on, let's talk about the group of death. Manchester United have boxed themselves to a tight corner. I'm talking on Group H right now. They have this group in their hands, right? They defeated Leipzig 5-0. They defeated PSG 2-1 in France. And we all expected Manchester United to get 6 points, if not 6 points, at least 4 points against Istanbul Başakşehir. And now they've boxed themselves to a tight corner. They lost against PSG 3-1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer proving me right again that he's not a coach in the standard of, a manager that should be coaching Manchester United. It looks like a man who is confused, who takes gamble all the time. I'm not saying you shouldn't take gamble. If what he did against PSG has paid off, we'll be saying he's a brave manager and all of that, but it was stupid not to have taken off Fred. You knew PSG players are tricky, they are corny, and he was even lucky to still remain on the pitch. And I don't know what he was thinking to leave Fred on. He left him on. He got sent off. PSG added to their goal 3-1. I don't know. I think they are sure of qualification right now because they will beat PSG. PSG will beat Istanbul Başakşehir for me. Başakşehir will be traveling to France, and that's a straight win for PSG as far as I'm concerned. Manchester United are in trouble right now. They'll be traveling away to RB Leipzig that defeated Istanbul Başakşehir 4-3 on Wednesday evening as well. Leipzig know what they need to do. They just have to beat Manchester United. If they could beat Manchester United by any goal, even half a goal, they'll be through to the UEFA Champions League round of 16. The Europa League seems to be calling Manchester United at this point, Hila.
Yeah, Manchester United have just, proved me right. I said it in our last podcast that if Solskjaer doesn't play a gamble, and if he doesn't want to prove Solskjaer again, if Solskjaer doesn't want to be a Solskjaer again, I think they will beat PSG. But if it does, PSG will just trash them, and they did. So we can see a lot of gambles they played in that game, leaving Fred on the pitch, removing Cavani.
You have Van der Beek, you have, and you know the funniest part, you took off Cavani, you took Martial away, brought on Greenwood to come and do what? And in the 90th minute, you are bringing on Igalo. If you needed a striker, why not?
Well, it's just a case of Manchester United don't really know what they want. So to me, I'm just really so surprised about the results. Though I'm surprised because I'm expecting so much from Manchester United in that game, but they just disappoint me. So I think Solskjaer is not the kind of manager Manchester United should rely on. They just need to to do something before Solskjaer take them back to relegation. I'm just saying Europa League for Manchester United.
All right. I don't know. Solskjaer looks like a clueless man, like a man who doesn't know what he's doing. But it's okay. I just hope that this won't put them in trouble because yes, if they manage to get a draw against Leipzig, they'll be through. But I feel that Leipzig might beat Manchester United. Fingers crossed. The other group of death, Real Madrid as well, are in trouble. They've been beaten now twice by Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar Donetsk have won just 2 games in their last 9 UEFA Champions League game, and those 2 games victories have come against Real Madrid. First in Spain and the other one in Ukraine. Shakhtar Donetsk are second on the log right now, though on -7 goals difference to Real Madrid, no goal at all. But Madrid on 7 points, Shakhtar on 7 points as well. Borussia Mönchengladbach also on 7 points. Inter Milan. Mönchengladbach on 8 points. Inter Milan are on 5 points. Now, here is a scenario. Madrid and Inter could still qualify in the in the final match of the group if both of them get a victory. Inter need to beat Shakhtar, and all Madrid needed to do as well is for them to beat Borussia Mönchengladbach, which will be very difficult as far as I'm concerned. For all the great work that Mönchengladbach have done, they might still have to drop to the Europa League should Inter and Madrid get all 3 points in the final match of the group. Sergio Ramos called emergency meeting, player meeting on Thursday, and the players attended the meeting, and he told the players, we need to give our all, we need to support the manager, and we have to turn this around. We are Real Madrid, we can do this. Can Real Madrid secure qualification for the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, or is this the end of Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League? And how will Madrid fare, by the way, in the Europa League, killer?
Well, talking about Real Madrid, Real Madrid is not a player you can write off when talking about Champions League. So I think they can still do it, because this Real Madrid team, we are looking, when they won their third Champions League under Zidane, we all know how poor they start. Yeah. And they later won the Champions League. So I think I can't just say Real Madrid are going to Europa. I can't say that. Real Madrid is not a team you can write off. So I think they can still do it. They can. They are Real Madrid. You can't write them off when it comes to Champions League. So I'm seeing them, qualifying if they really want to prove the name they bear.
All right, guys. You're listening to Kickoff Podcast with me, Imolia Yofakayere, and Hila. On the flip side, we shall be talking about the weekend fixtures. Chelsea away at Leeds United, Manchester United away at West Ham United. The biggest game in the EPL this weekend, Tottenham Hotspur will be playing against Arsenal, and Mourinho against Arteta. 8 games to look forward to in the English Premier League Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, the early kickoff, Burnley will be hosting Everton, followed by Manchester City Fulham, West Ham United against Manchester United, and the final game of the night, Chelsea are hosting Leeds United. On Sunday, West Bromwich Albion will be hosting Crystal Palace, Sheffield United against Leicester, and Tottenham Hotspur, the biggest game of the weekend, against Arsenal. And the final match on Sunday, that's Liverpool hosting Wolverhampton Wanderers at Anfield. Hila, let's start analyzing the games. By the way, guys, we are focusing on the English Premier League. Pardon us. If there are any big game outside the EPL, we shall be touching on it. But the biggest game this weekend, arguably across Europe, is Tottenham against Arsenal. Let's start with the early kickoff on Saturday. Burnley, after that 5-0 bashing from Manchester City, we'll be hoping they can redeem themselves against Everton as well. That Everton, who also lost against Leeds United last weekend. The Ancelotti guys have seems to have lost their way. They started the season very well, picking all maximum points, scoring goals for fun with reckless abandon, but it seems to have that form seems to have fizzled out, and I don't know what's wrong with Everton at the moment. I think they should be able to win against Burnley. Burnley should not beat Everton, all things being equal. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they should be able to beat Burnley. Burnley just lost 5-0 against Manchester City.
A more superior, much more better Manchester City, that is.
And I think they will want to prove themselves better. It's not easy losing to a team 5-0 and go to another game and lose again. And I think it will be it will be shameful for them. So I think it will be a tough game for Everton also. They lost to Leeds 1-0 in the past weekend. So I think it will be a tough game for the both sides, and I'm saying a draw in that game. I'm spending a draw.
Predict. I want. Give me a scoreline prediction.
Well, like 0-0 or 1-1.
I'm predicting a 2-1 victory in favor of Everton. Moving on to Manchester City hosting Fulham. Fulham won Leicester City on Monday Night Football by 3-1. Leicester City have been in wretched form recently. Manchester City put 5 goals past Burnley, and they drew 0-0 in the UEFA Champions League. By the way, Fulham seems to be clawing their way back to form. They seem to be getting all the necessary points just for them not to get relegated so early on in the season, though. But I think Man City shouldn't have any problem dealing with Fulham.
Yeah, I think Man City shouldn't have any problem dealing with Fulham. I think Man City can just do enough to beat Fulham. Fulham won't be a side that will be giving them tough time, just like Burnley. So I think Man City will do enough to clinch all the 3 points.
West Ham United will be hosting Manchester United, who lost against PSG at Old Trafford on Wednesday evening by 3-1. Manchester United won their last match
against Southampton.
Yeah, against Southampton by 3-2. They came from 2 goals down. And West Ham United, on the other hand, defeated West Brom, I think, by 1-0. I think Manchester United might not find it easy against West Ham United. You don't know the United that will turn up against the West Ham United. I'm smelling a 3-0 victory for West Ham United. That's me.
Well, Manchester United is unpredictable this season. You know, their manager has been making things so difficult and hard to predict. So I think Solskjaer is just always there to play a gamble, and sometimes he go away with it, and sometimes he get beaten. So I really don't know what would come out to be in this game, because Manchester United, they are unpredictable. They can and they can't. So I really don't know.
I think they have the squad to beat West Ham United only if Solskjaer will allow them to play football. If Solskjaer won't allow them to play football again, if he's setting up the team to be defensive against West Ham United, I think West Ham might nick a point. You would want to call the scoreline?
Well, to my own point of view, I always see Solskjaer, setting his team up to lose. So I really don't know. Let me say a 1-0 victory for Manchester United or 2-1.
All right. The final match on Saturday would see Chelsea, who are in form, like hot red form at the moment, hosting Leeds United, who won away at Goodison Park last weekend. Chelsea are high on confidence right now, and I think that that match will be very interesting. Leeds United are a very attacking side, and Chelsea as well, very attacking side. What do you see in that match? I think that Lampard will start Abraham again. That's just me.
Well, I don't think Abraham would start against Leeds, because Pulisic is back and Ziyech also is fit. So I'm seeing Werner playing up front in that game. I'm not saying Giroud starting also, but I'm saying Werner starting up front. So I think Chelsea should just do enough to take 3 points away from Leeds, because they are high on form this season. And
line?
Well, like 3-1, 3-0.
I'm predicting 4-2 in favor of Chelsea. That's a big scoreline. Hope it does come through. Moving up on to Sunday, West Bromwich Albion will be hosting Crystal Palace, and I don't know. It's a game of West Bromwich Albion trying to escape relegation. Crystal Palace trying to get themselves back on track. They've been in wretched form recently. Crystal Palace started the season very well, but they seem to have taken their foot off the pedal. I don't know. I feel that Crystal Palace would beat West Bromwich Albion 1-0. My scoreline. Moving up on to Sheffield United against Leicester City. Leicester lost again in the Europa League on Thursday night, and Sheffield United, I'm sure, would they lost against West Ham United 1-0 on Sunday evening. I don't know what to expect from Leicester. By the way, Leicester have been poor. I don't know. Jamie Vardy not scoring, not firing. We've read indeed he's back. By the way, it started in the defeat on Thursday night. What do you think would happen against Sheffield United? Should Sheffield beat Leicester? Is it safe to say that Leicester are in crisis if they lose to Sheffield?
Well, Leicester are in a big crisis. It's safe to say that because the way they've been playing recently is very poor compared to what they've been doing from the start of this season. So they've just start playing woefully, and I'm seeing Sheffield giving them a tough time because Sheffield is not a team that is very simple to play. So I am seeing Sheffield beating them again if they don't step up their game. Leicester City have been in crisis. They've not been doing well, and I see Sheffield United just doing enough to take away the 3 points again. But Leicester, they are unpredictable. They can come into the game with some magical form, and they just do enough to know this.
Jose and his boys will be hosting Mikel Arteta's side on Sunday in a blockbuster fixture. Tottenham Hotspur are topping the table, joint top with Liverpool. That is, they have the chance to go like a point or 3 points clear of Liverpool before Liverpool play their own game on Sunday evening. That's if Chelsea have not picked all 3 points against Leeds United. Tottenham are in great form. I don't think Harry Kane will be fit for that match. But you don't know what to expect from Arsenal, right? They've been poor in the league, in the Premier League, and they've been doing well in the Europa League. They won 4-1 Thursday evening against Rapid Vienna, and Lacazette on target. What should we expect from this game? I think Tottenham. There are no better time for Tottenham to beat Arsenal. Yeah.
This.
But you generally would say that in any derby, most especially the North London derby, whatever form you are in does not really matter.
Exactly. Arsenal. I'm seeing Arsenal beating Tottenham because the way Tottenham.
That's a big call, a bold call for you.
I'm serious. Arsenal don't fuck up when it comes to a derby game against Tottenham. They've been doing well in their past games against Tottenham. So even if their form is not that well, even if they drop form, they play better against Tottenham. So I think Arsenal can take a point from this game or even beat Tottenham if care is not taken, because Tottenham recent game now, talking about their Europa League game, they've won the match already, 3-1, from 3-1 to 3-3. Yeah. I'm just so surprised. And talking about Arsenal now, Arsenal is just a team that they are unpredictable against Tottenham. They can do and undo. So I think they can and they may not.
Your scoreline, you want to call the scoreline?
2-1 victory for Arsenal.
And I'm predicting a 1-0 victory for Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think Arsenal will score. Let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool have secured qualification for to the UEFA Champions League round of 16 after defeating Ajax by a 0-0 on Tuesday evening. Curtis Jones on target, and a 22-year-old goalkeeper, Irish goalkeeper, debuted for Liverpool, Kelleher, and he did very well. Alisson is out of that game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think Wolves will be a difficult, a tricky customer, that is. But Liverpool at Anfield, they should do just. I think they'll be having 2,000 fans back in the stadium. I think Liverpool should beat Wolves. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they should.
They have all it takes to beat Wolves.
They have
and Jota will be facing his former side.
Yeah, they have everything to beat Wolves if they really want to make this. So I think there's nothing to talk about this game. The thing is, Liverpool will just take all the 3 points.
In other news, before we go, Cristiano Ronaldo has now scored 750 career goals. He has scored 75 for Juve. That's 10% of the total goal. 118 for Manchester United, 5 for Sporting Lisbon, 102 for Portugal, and 450 for Real Madrid. A landmark goal. 750 happy moments for Cristiano Ronaldo. He posted on his Instagram handle. Your word on Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, there's nothing.
Is he the greatest of all time for you?
Nothing I can use to compare this man. He's the greatest of all time. and he will still be. Talking about greatest of all
And
time.
he said he has set his sights on 800 goal now. Can he do that?
He can.
He's 35 already. He'll be 36 next year.
Yeah, they can. Just 50 goals. 50 goals is nothing to
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Come on, just 50 goals. I think Ronaldo can make this. It's been a great career for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow.
I'm so proud of this guy.
All right, thank you for listening, guys. That's the size of the podcast. Follow Right Score on Twitter and on Instagram at Right Score Update. Hila_Fisayo is the Twitter handle of my colleague here on Twitter. Catch me up on Twitter at I am Fakimsa. Hila, your final word.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us again. Make sure you stay safe. Wash your hands regularly. Say no to rape. Rape is a cause.
Bye bye for now.